Hi everyone, this is Audapostrophe. Let's continue our game of Buried Stars on Nintendo Switch. Okay, we had quite a few revelations over the last couple of hours, so yeah, let's keep going. I think we got one more person to question.
근데
There must be a way to upload the photo. SU photo. It's this place without a doubt.
그러면
If that's true, when do you think they took the photo?
모르겠어.
I don't know. It's not like we can expect the metadata from here. Metadata?
어?
You don't know? All digital photos have it. Young scratched her ear after seeing Duyun's face. Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
그게
The one from the registration data?
그래.
So to speak, yes. By seeing it, we can figure out when and with what the photo was taken. Can't you check it on our watch? You can't see that much detail in the watch's viewer. What if you ask other Phater users?
혹시
Can we ask other Phater users out there? It might be possible for desktop users, though.
안 되겠어.
You don't know anything, do you? When a photo gets transferred, it loses the metadata. Oh, so the photo uploaded on Phater doesn't have the data. Feeling awkward, Duyun clicked his tongue. Yoon continued looking down at her watch. The same thing happens when you send it through Messenger.
결국
So, what we need is the original file from the person who took the photo.
그런가요?
Yes, Yoon would never reveal that.
그렇지.
Very unlikely. But we can't let them keep fooling us. There must be a way. Digital photos have metadata such as camera model, location, time, etc. But those data cannot be checked on the watch and will be removed when the photo is uploaded on the social media. Yeah. Who knew that was going to be the wrong answer? That's always a surprise.
근데
Seeing is the only one who can disclose the info.
아무래도
Just the only way is for Seeing to reveal it to them, reveal it themselves. Right now, only the one who took the photo can see it.
맞아.
Right, although it won't happen. The best way is for Seeing to reveal the original photo's metadata. When a file is uploaded to social media, its metadata is normally lost,
그러면
so there's no way for us to see it. Yoon clicked his tongue while looking down at his watch. With her hand on the side of her head, Yoon nodded. The same thing happens when you send it through Messenger.
글쎄요.
Looks like we're at a dead end. That's the situation we're in right now. But we can't let it keep fooling us. There must be a way.
내 생각엔
I don't think there's any other passage.
그럴지도.
We did look around the whole place.
그래.
We've come to the conclusion that there isn't any other passage. Young stared at the dark corner. She paused for a moment and shook her head.
아무래도
I thought about it again, but it doesn't change anything.
그랬었는데
Even Seal, who was a staff member, looked at it with us. If there was anything worth noting, he would have already examined it. The issue just resurfaced because of Seung. Young flinched at Dion's remark. She quickly turned around to face Dion.
근데
That's why I'm a bit scared. If there's no exit and Seung's photo is real, it means Seung is really in here somewhere.
도대체
This is so leery. Hyesung gets attacked and the photo gets uploaded. Hyesung said the murder would happen at 2 a.m., right?
그래요.
And that's when we found Hyesung. Hyesung silently ran her hand through her long hair. There's a time overlap.
너는?
Hyesung, what's your take on this? It really happened at 2 a.m. Do you really think it happened as they had predicted? Not necessarily so.
글쎄요.
I'm not sure if I can completely agree with that. It didn't happen exactly as Hyesung had said.
어?
No, but Hyesung was... Wait,
그렇구나.
Hyesung made it sound like they were going to murder him at 2 a.m.
네.
According to their threat, someone would die at 2 a.m. But what we found at 2 a.m. was Hyesung's lifeless body,
그런가?
which means the forewarned murder had happened before 2 a.m. Yoon continued while rubbing the back of his neck. Although it may not be enough to conclude that they were completely wrong. Right, I'm not even sure if we should be making this kind of reasoning. But something doesn't add up. Hyesung's body was found at 2 a.m., which was the specific time forewarned by Hyesung. That is, Hyesung was already killed before that. Anything on here?
왜일까?
Why does everything happen all at once? The stage collapsed, Hyesung was murdered, and now we had to put up with that.
그건
It's safe outside, we should stay strong.
그렇구나.
That's reassuring, unlike the look on your face.
결국
I was just being hopeful. Young weakly lowered the watch on her wrist.
확실히
It's a clear-cut situation, right? You can get the picture immediately. I get sick of beloved that fails to gain popularity, and things go wrong as I try to hit on a rich guy and retire, right? In the end, I quit and leave beloved without a sense of responsibility. The group gets disbanded and the agency goes bankrupt. Young had mixed feelings about the rumor, which has resurfaced. She said you can fabricate the lies into truth by adding stories. Young's long hair hid her face.
괜찮아요?
Are you okay? Young raised her head after a brief silence.
아니,
No, I'm angry. When I was with Beloved, I only thought about achieving my dream as a teen. I know what you're saying.
네.
I think I know what you're talking about.
아시잖아요.
You know, I'm the betrayer conceived by B-stars.
그래.
I thought you would know. That even if I step forward, I would just end up hurting other people.
결국
In the end, I would probably end up shying off. The two silently stared at each other. What I dreaded the most wasn't the rumor itself.
그럼
Then, people began to believe it as soon as the rumor broke. I felt very offended.
난
Love scandal, money, retirement. I never thought about any of those things. I had a dream. I had a goal. That's all I could think of.
그래.
That's why I was annoyed. Annoyed at people's prejudice that an unpopular idol would no doubt try to seduce a rich guy and retire. People who were disappointed in me, reporters that were throwing obscene words at me, and... Young shuddered for a moment. Me, who couldn't say anything against their accusations. Young felt shocked when the scandal broke out. She focused only on making her dream come true, but people started to believe the groundless rumor.
알잖아요.
Anyone would know if they have worked with you side by side. About what kind of person you are, or what kind of dream you had when you joined the show.
글쎄.
Well, I'm not so sure. I don't think I've come out of it yet. Young had mixed feelings when the rumors about her dating and retirement were immediately treated as truth. At the time, she only thought about her dreams and goals. I used to worry about many things in the past. I am okay with my haters giving me a hard time.
근데
But when I couldn't get along with some of my fans who wanted to know more about me, I really didn't know what to do with them. Young's gaze shifted to Ina as she talked.
아무래도
I guess Ina was stressed out.
확실히
I think people meant well when they went to see her family,
그치만
but her family could have felt bothered. Some people don't want to be contacted in that way. Her family didn't come to the finals. Maybe they were dealing with their own family problems. I know you can't avoid unwanted attention, but this is too much. Young stared at Duyun again.
누나
Duyun, I think you should talk to Ina more often. If not, she'll keep thinking about what's going on out there.
그래요.
I guess it applies to all of us. Young quietly nodded. Her long hair brushed off her shoulder. Yes, to all of us. By talking more, we should be able to avoid internal conflicts. We need to take care of each other more carefully.
그건
You're talking about Kwaihook's university days. He simply left school and stayed home, but that's not the same as disappearing.
그건
I guess they compared Kwaihook's current position to his past. And they added the story about his late father, Boyong Lee. I guess it must have been an unusual circumstance after his father's death. Yu Young's face briefly turned grim. What do you think Yu Hook had in mind when he joined B-Stars?
아마도
I guess he put lots of thought into it, just like anybody else. To pass or fail in an audition after showing all you've got would be very challenging, even fearful for anyone. Yu Young nodded after a brief pause.
그럴까?
Maybe Kwaihook had been struggling with that fear during that tough time. Other people might envy Kwaihook for having a famous father, but for him it became a burden he had to deal with.
네.
I often sense that while talking with him. I guess his sophisticated mind came from that background, the heavy burden and his struggles with it.
그건
The decision came from the judges. It's not like you had any strings to pull. It's not your fault that the judges thought highly of you.
네.
I don't think I did anything wrong either. It's just that their decision was totally unexpected and resulted in specific consequences for my life. Young quietly patted Duyun on his arm. Your surroundings change even when you walk. If you didn't want any changes, you shouldn't have done anything at all.
나도야.
But remember, both you and I decided to move on.
저기
Young,
너는?
I'm listening. Duyun couldn't continue. Young folded her hands together after looking at him for a while.
누나.
Duyun, let's focus on what's at hand. If we fall here, that's the very end of everything. We can grab another opportunity only after we get out of here. Oh, I'm still missing a word, huh? It's right here.
아무래도
It came out at some odd timing. I literally hid from the world after my father had died.
솔직히
I just wanted to drop everything and let things take their course.
그랬지.
I used to study really hard in school, but as I felt demotivated, I just left. Boyhook groaned quietly. For a while, I got calls from many different people.
Huh?
About your father?
그렇지.
About paying tribute to him, but most of them approached me out of curiosity, for fun, or to take advantage of me. That's why I ran away, rather, because I couldn't handle them. He went into hiding after a series of incidents. The tribute has led to the interest in his family, and Boyhook couldn't stand the media circus. Boyhook smiled bitterly as if something came to mind. B-Stars used my past to turn me into an enigmatic someone. To the stern remark that even his past of running away became his character.
그랬어.
We couldn't refuse the roles. We've actually made it to the finals thanks to them.
그래.
Yes, I'd be lying if I said I could have made it here even without them. Just like a basic template, we were given images to show the audience so easily from the beginning.
그렇다는 건
Unlike the time you disappeared from the world, you're showing firm resolve this time.
그렇지.
I might have lied my whole life meaninglessly if I didn't change my mind back then. Weihuk quietly stared at Duyun. After a brief silence, Weihuk spoke again.
그리고
So I came to B-Stars and I haven't been myself ever since. I didn't know what I was wanting when that's the most important thing in the world.
뭐랄까.
Everything was different from what I had expected ever since joining the show.
그건
It's still the same. Weihuk nodded quietly. Yes, we were on a really unpredictable foggy path. He wanted to avoid excessive interest from the media and the public. After he joined the audition, his mysterious past worked to pique people's interest. Alright. Duyun looked at the blinking watch. Come to think of it, finding and posting a photo means someone got cold feet, don't you think?
뭐라는 거야?
Problem is, the photo was taken here. Everyone is having a hard time. They clearly crossed the line. I don't like them. I don't like you either. Ah, pity for me. Forget what I just said. Silly me. Duyun, what's your opinion? Is S.C. Young really there with you and others? Duyun was lost in thought for a moment. There were many different opinions toward S.C. Young. Some believed S.C. Young was an internet troll out there, while some believed that they were someone hiding in the building. And Pluggle was asking Duyun's about opinion.
내 생각에는
I think he's here.
애쓰면 이 안에 있어.
Of course, S.C. Young must be hiding near here. You seem so sure about it. What makes you think so? Photo of the scene. The photo S. Young sent was absolutely taken from here. The image is too small to see on our watch screens, but all of us agreed on that. Well, a wizard he must be then. S. Young declared that they would kill Hyesung at 2, and Hyesung was found dead at that exact hour. Can't be a coincidence. A true mystery. And we can see that facilities here are so poorly and arbitrarily built, there could be areas that we aren't aware of yet, or that aren't on the blueprint. That's why you believe S.C. Young is there? His head cleared as he sent the message.
역시 애쓰면은 여기 어딘가 숨어 있어.
The body was found at the specific time forewarned by S.C. Young. The photo of the site was real. It seems that S.C. Young committed the crime by using a secret passage. After a brief moment, Plughole replied. I'll sum up what you just said. Listen up. A mysterious person, S.C. Young, used a secret passage that might or might not exist. S.C. Young is daring to take photos there, and we still have no clue to figure out if it's real. People died at the specific time SCU announced, but we don't really know if the murder happened at that time. We simply guess that it might have. What if we bet on another possibility? SCU is not there, but at home, just bumming around, probably figured out the fact that they went a little too far. The photo posted by SCU had no metadata. The death of Hyesung was perhaps coincidence. Since there were no hidden passages, SCU must be just a pathetic troll. What are you saying? Anyway, there are also other people there with you. I've got to use some hard evidence to get SCU. Make sure no one falls for it anymore. On the other hand, Plughole also seemed to be saying things at random. Diyun bit his lip and sent a new message. Sounds like you don't know how to get SCU in either. Hey, come on! We just gotta let this troll blabber as much as they want until they figure out they've talked too much. It's the best way to win a fight with an anonymous troll like this one. I will keep picking, and you share what's going on there. Here's a simple quiz for you. You said a few things a while ago. To corner SCU, what questions should I keep asking?
물고 늘어진다?
From what they had talked about so far, there should have been something that would undermine SCU's claims. What would render SCU unable to refute?
그럴만한 이야기라면 S 승연이 직접 올린 사진의 메타 정보를 까보라면서 물고 늘어지는 거야. 가장 강력한 증거처럼 내민 건 자기 자신이니까. 촬영한 위치나 시간을 보면 발목을 잡힐 수도 있어.
Ask SCU to reveal the photo's metadata. Since photos are the most convincing media on Phater, SCU won't be able to slide off easily. If they do get tenacious and keep questioning it, if we do get tenacious and keep questioning it, you know a bit about dealing with trolls. That's it. From now on, we should focus on the metadata. The message stopped there briefly.
메타 정보로 공격하고 다 좋다고. 그런데 왜?
How did Plughole get my number? And what does he get by fighting back against SCU? Diyun could think of no plausible explanation. And why was he partnering with this stranger? The oppressive feeling, death of his peer, and a mysterious attacker, the slandering of the anonymous account. Maybe Diyun was trying to escape from it all, even for a brief moment.
워치에 또 뭐 있어요? 너무 보시는데.
페이터 쌈박질 보는 거야?
이번엔 메타 정보를 까보라는 흐름이야.
사진이 가짜일지도 모른다는 거지.
Plughole didn't hesitate to counter SCU.
이거야. 워치 없는 사람 저뿐인가요?
Seal interrupted Diyun.
저도 좀 봐요.
If the photo is real, disclose its metadata. You don't know what it is? The photo is metadata, understand? If it can disclose the time the photo was taken, we can know it's true. If it can do so, cut the crap and just show the photo info. The half of the stage must be fallen down, so it's nearly impossible to kill someone and take a picture in such a small space if they're not a ninja.
찍소리 못하는데?
가짜면 뭘 짓거리든 신경 끌 수 있겠지만요. 그럼 서혜성은 대체?
Please post a piece of evidence instead of a comment, SC Young. Are you drawing an info window on the photo? What's taking you so long?
잠깐! 올라왔어!
It's so pathetic to see people try to deny reality. The building was almost collapsed at 11, and the GPS points to the venue. Unbelievable. Plughole suddenly shut up, ran away after seeing the evidence. It's possible to modify the photo's metadata, but there's no signs of altering or editing the photo, and people say the place of the photo is the stage, so chances are the photo was taken inside the fallen stage. Thank you for the reporting, but we couldn't confirm that there are other survivors. Is it a ghost? Yes, Young revealed the metadata. They caught both Diyun and Plughole off guard. His had begun to pound like crazy. Oh, his head began to pound like crazy, I think is what I was supposed to say. Diyun barely managed to get up on his knee.
그렇다면 S승은 정말 여기 있다는 거야?
그럼 정말 혜성이를
말이 되는 얘긴가?
여기까지 오면 아니라고만 하기도.
한 번에 안 밀리네 이 자식은?
There was a sense of panic in their voices. Diyun barely managed to straighten himself up.
알겠어.
He managed to blurt some words out through clenched teeth.
그렇다고 해도 밝혀내야겠어.
3 a.m. Pursuit. Damn it, S.Young wouldn't back down. The metadata is uploaded. That was easy for him to say. He didn't feel offended. He could feel the anxiety dying out. What should we do now? We've exchanged punches. It's our turn now. Now you really need to help me. You should verify the metadata S.Young has disclosed.
검증한다고?
Let's piece together what happened. The photo S.Young posted shows what exactly?
S승연의 사진.
Dean looked at the first photo again.
이건 틀림없이 어두워서 불확실하지만 아마 무대일 거야.
Lap stage. It must be the stage that was on TV. Yes, I just wanted to cross-check.
그래, 무대가 확실해. 잠깐.
Cross-check whom? Cross-checking whom, sir? Whom, I asked. You don't need to know. Let's go to the next step. S.Young hid the camera model in the metadata of the image. Why did they hide out that part? Strange, isn't it? But before discussing that, let's take a look at the time information in the metadata. It's 23:22. I want to talk about the time. The photo was taken at 23:22, so what were the others doing at 11:22 p.m.?
11시 22분? 그쯤에 우리는
Oh, what were we doing?
구조대가 벨소리 바꿔달라고 했던 거 언제쯤이었?
Boyhood briefly stared at Duyun.
11시 반 전쯤이었어. 너 벨소리 설정 안 했으면 큰일 날 뻔했었지.
All of us were on the stage at that time.
잠깐. 그렇다면
Weird. Then how did they take a picture? We have to rule out everything that's impossible, leaving only the possible explanation. You know where this leads. If the photo was taken there, it would have been taken by one of you. Yoon instinctively glanced at the rest of the group. If someone took the photo, who could it have been? Yoon had no clue whatsoever. Let's talk over the phone. Oh, hell nah. Using data service is much better. We can't call, but still we use Phater and Messenger. Can't you see? Young is really here with us, you mean? Hiding somewhere to take the picture? Look at the photo. See if it was taken from a hiding place.
전혀 그런 각도가 아니었어.
No, it was taken from the stage. Well, then let me ask you a very important question. Anyone there have a smartphone? No, all of us are using only Messenger and Phater on our smartwatches. That's a device I'm not familiar with. Then I'll change the question. That smartwatch or whatever has a camera? Only Hissing's watch has a camera. One of the contestants, late Hissing, was wearing a watch with a camera. Jeez, that's not fair. Only he had a watch with a camera? Well, thanks for confirming that. Is he near you? I was told not to touch his body, so he is still there in the place where he was found. Would you do me a big favor? Can you go check his watch? In particular, check if his watch has the photo that was posted on Phater. Yoon lowered his watch and thought briefly. Check S. Young's photo on Hissing's watch? What does that even mean? His head swirled with confusing thoughts. Let's go check it. I'm on it. I'll get back to you soon. Yoon stared at the group. He looked at the rest of the group. They looked worried and confused. Yoon tucked his chin and opened his eyes.
S 승연이 올린 사진 혜성이 워치에서 나온 건지도 몰라요.
Their eyes widened as he had expected.
서혜성은 죽었잖아요.
한참 멍 때리다 뭔 소리야? 혜성이가 왜?
도윤아, 생각이 지나쳐.
Yoon explained why they needed to check the watch. But he didn't mention anything about plug hole. Nobody would trust an idea from some anonymous source.
발상은 그렇다 쳐도 혼자 가는 건 안 돼.
동감이야. 갈 거면 같이 가.
다시 간다고요? 거기
언제 또 진동이 올지 몰라. 아니면 범인이...
Yoon took a step forward towards Seal.
세일아, 같이 가보자.
네? 제가요? 왜요?
He was about to jump out of his skin.
혼자 다니는 게 문제면 둘이 가면 돼. 무대엔 이나, 영희 누나랑 규혁이 형이 있으면 안심이야. 워치에 대해 물어볼 게 있으면 세일이 네가 큰 도움이 될 거야.
도움... 그래요. 알겠어요. 같이 가봐요.
쎄하다 싶으면 바로 나와야 돼. 언니 말 들어라. 알았지?
역시나 후달리네요. 확인할 거 하시고 궁금한 건 말씀해 주세요. 저는 누가 갑자기 오진 않나 망 볼 테.
고마워. 금방 끝낼게.
Yoon patted Seal on the shoulder and went inside. Wait, I missed out on something. Isn't his watch locked with a password? I can't crack it. Everyone uses the same password since the watches are sponsored products. What a poor sense of information security. Any chance that Phater could be hacked? Each Phater account is bound to the watch app. It's not even possible to switch accounts. This means that even if a B-Stars contestant has their official account stolen, no one can write a post without the watch. People are asking, so then all those corny posts that came from earlier were written by you guys? The earlier posts were written by a staff member at the end of the first round of the finals. We were only allowed to write posts starting with the second round. I see. I just thought you all wrote those annoying posts. Okay, what's the watch's model number and password?
비번을 알려달라고?
Ian turned around to check on Ziyu. He was staring at the entrance with a worried look on his face. No. What do you need the password for? Do you want to catch SCO or keep playing with him? Mental breakdown by SCO versus sharing your password for your sake. If you decide to trust me, be consistent. Ian decided to share the password with him. BAW320EC, password 1803. Thanks. Investigating the watch now. Wish me luck. Waha. So it could be Seal. He's facing the other way, since he's like typing, right? It could be a mistake, but he had no better idea at the moment, because we know Seal has a tablet. Dion shook his wrist and looked towards Hastings' watch. He groaned upon touching the cold body.
왜요? 무슨 일인데요?
아니야, 별일 아니야.
Dion raised his hand to assure Seal. He entered the password and checked the screen.
다른 사람한테는 없는 사진 앨범.
He opened the album. The photo that S. Young had uploaded was right there. At the same time, a certain memory crossed Dion's mind.
자, 그지? 이렇게, 요렇게. 이 워치 두 개 라인으로 나와. 뒤에 C 붙은 건 카메라 있고 빠진 모델은 없어.
He thought about the moment when they were talking about the smartwatch, which was sponsored. The photo posted on the social media was the one taken at that time. Here's the photo. I remember, Houston took that photo. The model number of the watch must be written there, BAW320EL. This leads us to another question. How was the photo from the watch made it to S. Young? Choose your answer. Number 1, the dead person who conspired with S. Young, he sent the photo to them. Number 2, S. Young stole the photo from the dead person's watch. In this case, we need to figure out how. S. Young leaked it out on his own. He's saying S. Young conspired.
공모 같은 건 말이 안 돼.
S. Young wouldn't have sent the photo. S. Young must have taken the photo out of his device somehow. We must find out how it was done. Do you know how S. Young took the photo?
사진을 빼낼 만한 방법이라면
There's a backup.
백업. 사진 찍으면 클라우드로 저장한댔지. 거기 접근이 가능하면 사진을 빼낼 수 있어.
The camera on Hastings' watch. All the photos the watch takes will be stored in the cloud. SC and could have downloaded the photo from there. Did a good job, Duyun. I have nothing left to teach you. Go open your own business. Oh, actually not yet. The photo on the cloud drive must be the original version with the metadata. Thought so. I'm gonna send you something fun. Check it out. Voila! How'd you get it? I found it in the cloud drive linked to the camera app on Hyosung's watch. I couldn't believe the username was the same as the Phater username. I entered the common password. I knew the contestants were told not to change the settings, but it's over the top. What a security hole. Can the backup server be accessed from outside? I could access it with my PC. Do the smartwatches support web browsing? No. How about switching to another account? Nope. Then it's a useless device. I won't buy it. Now you get my point? Young is just an attention seeker. It's gotta be someone out there who knows your common password. No, actually, here, let me do this. Let me bail out. And let's not lose that one sanity point. Seems like it makes a difference. I mean, it's a pretty interesting plot, you know, it's basically a shoebox scenario where everybody's just trapped in a single location. And all the drama really happens between all the characters and their inner monologues. In this case, there's some things that happen outside of that world, but essentially they're trying to make it all in one place. Oh, this isn't far back enough. Oh, I have to load for my save then. I know, I wish you could easily go back in a conversation. That's what I don't like about the game's engine. I have to admit, when I first started playing this, I didn't think it was that interesting. It was only kind of recently in the Game Plus that things are being a lot more dramatic. But yeah, if you start playing this, then just realize it's a slow start. You know, it's not something that you can just jump into. It'll take a while before it finally gets interesting. I think a lot of visual novels are like that, but some visual novels are really, really good right from the get-go.
승현이 직접
Oh boy, it's been a long time since we could save. I mean, this is a lot to go through again. Again, this is why I wish quick save just worked whenever you wanted to. That'd be a better situation than having to rely on the autosave. I'll share it with them. Okay, so this part we're going to go through. Assuming leaked it out on his own. Backup it. Now you get my point? S. Young is just an attention seeker. It's gotta be someone out there who knows your common password. Just like me. S. Young got the photo that had been taken by Hyosung's watch and automatically uploaded to the cloud server. But no one knows how S. Young learned about the cloud and password. Let's reveal S. Young's identity then. Not yet, this is not enough. It's just the bait. To trap S. Young with this piece of evidence, we must prove that the original copy belongs to someone else. Got it? Posting on Phater involves losing all the other data of the photo, so we should upload our photo along with the metadata, just like S. Young did. So if you post it... Brag about hacking someone's cloud server? No way. That'll drive us into a problematic situation later.
아니, 여기까지 와서...
Then what should we do? S. Young is not in a good position since the metadata cannot be checked on a smartwatch. The point is, we have found out how S. Young could get the photo, but that alone is not enough. People will get confused over who's right if S. Young denies all that. We need a smoking gun. Like what? Like, I know who you are thingy. The best way to defeat a troll is to reveal their identity. They are only saying those things because they've been able to stay anonymous. To win, we must take off the troll's mask. But what if S. Young keeps denying? This will happen if we miss it, but we hit the bullseye, then they won't be able to deny it. We must entangle them with solid evidence to break the whole frame. Easier said than done. How can we know who they are? Now we know how S. Young got the photo. Just narrow down the list. To find out who hates you and Hyosung, the last and second to last in ranking, respectively. S. Young seems to have a grudge considering their murder threat. Does Se-young have a grudge against the top 5? Possibly yes, to Seungyeon, whom they impersonate, Hyesung, with whom they argued, and Jiun, who is the next target. And figure out who's likely to enter the cloud backup server. If you can, find other evidence too. Se-young gained the photo from the cloud server, which was linked to Hyesung's watch account. This is impossible without knowing the password. Now to get back to your friends and stay with them. They'll be missing you if you only hang out with me. I'll be having fun with Se-young in the meantime. See ya. Plughole said that he wanted to say, or Plughole said what he wanted to say and just disappeared.
정체를 드러내야 끝난다.
Dion chewed over the message. Se-young appeared out of nowhere to taunt the survivors and left everyone bewildered with Hyesung's death. The confusion would just grow if Dion didn't do anything about it. After pondering for a moment, Dion turned his steps.
세일아, 끝난 것 같아.
네. 뭐 좀 찾으셨어요?
덕분이야. 고마워.
역시 혼자보다는 둘이 낫죠.
돌아가자. 가서 하고 싶은 얘기가 있어.
Seal tilted his head to the side, feeling curious, but soon led Dion back to the group.
이렇게 사진을 올린 거였어.
대체 뭐 하는 개자식이야? 확 페이터에 까고 난장 제대로 피워봐? 도윤이 말대로 더 엉망이 될 거야. 뚜껑 열리잖아 저거!
사진을 빼돌렸다고 꼭 바깥 사람이란 뜻은 아니야.
서혜성 사건의 범인이 아니라는 단서도 아니고요.
정말 범인 같으면 특정한 때 경찰에 제보할 수도 있을 거예요.
경찰? 그래 뭐 신고는 해야겠지.
There was some controversy when Dion suggested that he would reveal Se-young's identity.
난 찬성이야. 어떤 놈인지 진짜 궁금하거든.
전 조금 잘못 찍으면 페이터에서 얻어 터질 수도 있어요.
우린 생존자일 뿐이야. 밝히는 것까진 우리 소관이 아니잖아.
뭐라도 단서가 있다면 괜찮지만 무리하는 건 반대야.
눈 가리고 귀 막은 채로 넘기려고도 해봤잖아요. 그치만 끝나질 않아요.
I mean, it definitely seems like it's Seo. That's Se-young.
외면하는 걸로는 적이 쏠리는 신경을 끊을 수가 없어요.
And Plughole.
정체를 알아낼 거예요. 페이터에서 아예 사라지게 할 거라고요.
Dion made up his mind. The rest of the group seemed to agree that Se-young's presence was a problem.
범위 다시 한번 말해봐. 두 가지였지?
출연자 비번 정보를 알거나 알 수도 있는 사람.
또 이 사고를 보고도 익명 계정으로 날뛸 동기가 있는 사람.
혹시 또 뭐가 있을까?
제 시청자들보다 출연자에 대한 정보가 많았어요. 지를 떠나서.
방송 관계자든가 친한 사람일 수도 있겠네.
Se-young seems to know sensitive information about the top 5 that was only available to the staff. There were 3 possible cases. It might be possible to narrow it down further to a certain pool if investigated further. Dion gulped and stepped forward. It's definitely used to you. Look at this photo album. Doesn't she look like my friend? You can easily answer my question if you have any eyes to see. Some someone posted her yearbook photo on Phater claiming that Ina resembled one of her high school friends. The style was different, but their faces and voices are very similar. No one knew he was from a rich family. Koi-hook's university friend testified that Koi-hook took years off from school soon after receiving the scholarship. He said he knew nothing about Koi-hook's family matters. I used a bait mentioned to identify SC Young's IP. That means somewhere in Africa. Something smells fish. Something smells of fish. Some Phater users checked SC Young's IP. It turned out to be a foreign IP. And that one I already have, right? Yeah, that's the older one. SC Young is spreading false information. Everyone, please report at the site of it. We need a greater number of reports to attract response. Some Phater users reported the SC Young account to Phater support, but so far nothing has happened. Oh, there's 12 words. My goodness. That's a lot of words. But we're out of time, so I'll come back to this later tonight, and we'll play a little bit more of this novel. Anyway, this is audap. You've been watching Buried Stars on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.